Hello, so today we'll be interviewing a few people on their views of prohibition. We'll be starting off with regular folk and ending with a politician. So, how has alcohol influenced your life, and what is your view on the prohibition of alcohol? So, how effective do you think prohibition is? So, do you know what speakeasies are? If so, how often do you go and why? Okay, thank you for your interview. So, next we'll be interviewing a bootlegger. So we're back and we'll be interviewing a bootlegger. So, why do you smuggle in alcohol illegally? So, have you ever gotten caught? What happens if you get caught by the police? Okay, thank you for your interview. So, next we'll be moving on to a policeman and then the politician. Interviewing a policeman. So, have you ever consumed alcohol or visited a speakeasy after the prohibition act was enacted?
Of course. I'm not a frequent customer at the speakeasy, but I do enjoy going down to one every so often. I know I'm supposed to be enforcing prohibition, but this law is pretty ridiculous.
What do you think would happen if the police chief found you inebriated?
He'd be the one to suggest going in the first place.
Okay, so is there anyone on the police force that actually abides by this law?
Not that I know of. Well, there is Bill, but he never drank to begin with.
That's interesting. Thanks for your interview. So now we'll begin our final interview with a politician. So, why did you sign off on banning alcohol completely?
Honestly, I didn't think it would be such a big deal. I thought it would control alcoholism and frivolous spending and whatnot, but with all the bootleggers and speakeasies, I guess not.
So, do you know about bootleggers and speakeasies?
Of course, they're everywhere, and they're making it hell to keep the laws enforced. Then again, the more we do, the more productive we look, which keeps the temperance movement lobbyists quiet for a change. Thank God for that. Do you have any idea how long they've pestered us about this? Even if people are still drinking, the important thing is that those conservatives are happy, which means I can have a little more peace and quiet.
So, have you ever been inside a speakeasy?
I'm a human being, am I not? Just keep it on the down low.